Hey, I'm here with Kerry Jackson. We're on Comic-Con 2014. How's it been?
Hectic.
Yes, very hectic.
Crowded, but overall, really exciting and just amazing. It's broken records from what I understand. I haven't got an official word at the time of this recording, but it sold out.
I've heard the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've heard the same thing. So, who are you most excited to see?
Well, I'm one of those people who I don't need to see celebrities, and sometimes don't want to.
Right.
I mean, I do it for work sometimes, but that's not by choice, because I have an idea in my head about a celebrity, and I don't want it ruined. And you know,
The whole "don't meet your hero."
it was Shatner that did it.
No, really.
Yeah, I met Shatner, and he couldn't be that bad. Oh no, he's that bad.
That's what I've heard.
But they asked me to MC Stephen Amell, Green Arrow, and he was just super gracious, super nice. He's the genuine article, so that was very cool. That was very cool. I don't volunteer for the celebrity panels much. No, I'm just not interested.
So you're here recording Geek Show.
Yes.
Have you had any? Is this one that you're really proud of, or?
I'll be honest with you. When we were in the podcast theater for FanX, it's a small room. It's like, I think 100 people, maybe 150, 25. And we were setting up, and the room was full, and of course it's a small room. And they were telling me, "Oh, we're turning away 100 people out there." I thought, let's not exaggerate. Come on, that's silly. And so they said, we're giving you a bigger room this year. We're going to put you in 3 nights regular schedule, so bigger room. I walked into that room and I'm like, can we swear?
Yes.
It's a fucking barn. We'll never fill it, you know? And luckily for the past 2 nights, we have filled it.
Wow.
So I'm just, our listeners are the best. They're just amazing. And I love each and every one of them individually.
So you've been with X96 for 25 years, right?
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Well, ever since it... Well, no, there was that year. But yeah, about that.
And then you guys just thank God you signed your contracts and you're still there. But then you started doing your podcast not too long ago. How long has that been?
My historian would be absolutely correct. I want to say 6 years.
6 years.
Maybe a little more than 6.
What was the desire to start your podcast?
Well, Geek Show started on the radio because I would be hanging out with these people, these good close friends of mine, me, Shannon, and Jeff, and we would have these conversations about, you know, Star Wars and Star Trek and shit, and somebody kept saying we should put this on the radio, and then one day Bill announces, "Oh, I'm not going to be here for a week."
Oh.
And so we got thinking, and this is before Gina, so it was just me and him. And I'm like, and our PD's like, "I don't want any taped shows. I don't want any, just do your show." But I'm by myself. I'll call in the guys at 9 o'clock, and we'll do that. And it was called Geek Chat then. And so we just kind of did it on the radio, and it seemed to work. But at that time, geek culture was not the mainstream culture like it is now. So I couldn't justify doing a regular version of the show. It was when Bill went on vacation, so it was on an as-needed basis. And then it started to infiltrate the mainstream. And so we started doing it more often, but it still, in my opinion, wasn't worthy of a regular kind of thing, because it may be mainstream, but it's still niche. Does that make any sense? So our IT guy at the time said, "Podcast, that's what we should do." And I went, "Yeah, that makes sense." And any excuse that I can have to get my friends together in a basement and talk about Star Trek and drink, you know, I'm all for that. So that's where the impetus began.
Do you have nights where you're like, okay, let's try this beer. Now let's try this beer. Or is it just, nah, I already know what I like, so.
I buy the boys Bud Light. That's it. No,
that's their payment.
That's the thing, is that now that the show is working out so well that we get people who donate different beers.
Nice.
We had a guy here earlier who brought us just a ton of beers from San Diego. So That went well.
Yeah.
But if you're donating, it's vodka.
just in case you're wondering.
I like my vodka flavored vodka.
And then, so since you've done this for so long, what's the best experience you might have had? Can you even name it?
At the cons?
No,
or on Geek Show?
Just on the radio.
On the radio?
Yeah.
I will combine the con and Geek Show. How about that?
Okay.
It was the first Comic Con. We weren't even set up in a room because they ran out of rooms. And I said, why don't you set me up out in that hallway outside of the ballroom? And the Salt Palace guy said, yeah, I'll move the Coke machine. It'll be fine. And so we set up outside the ballroom. And we're just set up there doing the show. And suddenly from behind me, I feel this. And we look up, and it's Stan Lee.
No.
What's going on here? And we're like, oh, Stan Lee. Yes, I have Utah connections, as a matter of fact. I have and he starts going on about a relative. He goes, and now I'm on Geek Show, which makes sense. And then he gets up and goes and does his panel. And we were just like, we just got a walk on from Stan Lee, So that was really cool. And as far as the radio goes, there's just so many. I'd take up all your tape. There's just so many great things.
Well, thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you very much.
Listen to X96 Geek Show.